So the way that you do things seems like your identity.
Yeah, I mean, I am my words, and even this book is really centered around the language because I firmly believe in this ideology that you are what you say, right? And that is very simple. When you're learning a new language, when you start to dream in a new language or a different language than your native tongue, that is the definition of comprehension. This is how much words fucking matter. It's we think about things in the context of words, right? So we say it, we think it, and then we also know from the University of Pennsylvania, the ATC model, activated event, thought, consequence. We know that we only can control one of those three things. And the one thing we can control is our thought. Okay, so active event happens, we have a thought, the thought governs our consequence and repercussion. The only way we change our thought is by changing the way we see the world and then thinking about it while we think in words. So if we change the words we use, we change our thoughts, that changes our emotions and reactions. That's how important fucking words are. And when you use the right words, it starts changing the way the neurons fire off in our brains and how we think about things. Like I'm working with UWM students right now, and they know some of the words I hate, right? Thinking, talking, trying. And the one guy goes, I didn't even realize I said thinking. I said, you did it twice. And I went like this 4 times because you said are trying. Because he's like, well, I'm trying to do this. I'm like, well, what have you done? And he's like, no, you're right. I have to restate my position. He goes, well, I did it in this graphic design program, but it didn't work. Okay, so I understand that the program you have isn't good enough. He's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, that's right. Now you've articulated a very clearly defined fact. Hey, the program I have is not good enough. Okay, so then that means we need a different program. Otherwise, we'd be spinning our fucking wheels. Well, he's trying to do it. No, hey, he didn't. Just the program didn't do what it needed to do. So the program's the issue. Right, this goes back to basic sentence structure, right? And that's how simple I want to get it, right? What is the subject of the sentence and what is controllable within the sentence? But when it comes to this book and this whole idea is that we use words when we think about things, and I'm constantly thinking about things that happened in the past and then how do they relate to the present so I have the future I want. I don't live in the past, I don't live in the future. I'm living in the present, but part of living in the present is thinking about how things occurred in the past. And the way you think about them changes what you think about moving forward. You're changing your own perspective without changing your action, without getting off your fucking ass. You're just thinking about words, or you're thinking about the world differently based on the words you're using and challenging yourself using simple models to change the way you recall things and understand your thought at the time, which led to your action, your emotions, reaction, ultimately the consequence of your thoughts.
How did you come to have this perspective?
A lot of self-reflection. How did my actions or inactions affect this situation? Right? Blame is very easy in the world, and you want to blame everybody else, but you got to look introspectively and say, okay, how did I contribute? Good, bad, or indifferent? How did I contribute? And then you got to be honest with yourself about that question. And if you're not honest with your thoughts, everything else is fucked.